There are a million things to remember before the school year begins, from buying reams and reams of paper to a ton of Kleenex. But there is one thing you can get a jump start on: the kids' school time health needs. Dr. Shahady explains how.
It's very helpful if you can go ahead and make your arrangements for your kids, kindergarten, sports physicals, camp physicals, all those things that are going to be coming up over the summer and early into the fall. Kindergarten physicals are coming up, and this is a copy of the form that you can get from your child's school. If you could please fill that out before you come to see us, we love that. That way we can really spend time going over all the answers that you've given in depth and have a good quality visit in terms of addressing all your child's needs. Another thing that's going to happen on your kindergarten visits are their immunizations, so you want time to have that done well before school starts so that you can turn in that paperwork. The next set of kids that we like to see, preferably sooner than later, are those kids that are going to be doing fall sports or sports during the next school year. Middle school and high school kids have this form that they will get from their school or online from the high school sports league. They can just download it. And again, there's lots of things that parents address on that form. You can see this page is all for parents to fill out. And so if they can get that done ahead of time rather than scrambling in the office to fill that out, that also gives us more accurate answers, and we can really address all the things that we may need to deal with before the child starts a sport for the next school year. And again, middle school and high school kids will have some immunization needs as well, so if we can do that before the school year starts, that's very helpful.
Now, I understand there's a vaccine for meningitis that you can get at different ages.
Correct. We used to just give kids shots before they went off to college, but now we can immunize kids between 11 and 12, and that's a good thing to do. And then they get a booster when they go off to college. And so all those middle school age kids can get that when they're coming in for those checkups.
And does that then give them better protection over the years?
Yes, yes. And that's a good thing to do, particularly if your kids are going to be out in public places and doing camps and things like that. Those are the types of atmospheres where you could get that type of disease.
And I've filled out many of these forms over the years, and it really is nice to be at home and maybe talk to your spouse about it. And if there's some issues, like one of the questions in here is, have you ever passed out or felt like you're going to pass out? That's a good thing to discuss with your kid, and maybe you'll have some new issues to discuss with you when you walk through the door.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because unless you talk to your kid about some of this, they may just think, well, you know, I get a little dizzy when I run, but maybe that's normal for me. And until you specifically ask those questions, you don't always know those things.
Now let's talk about the Gardasil vaccine. That's relatively new over the last few years. What does that do?
That protects both boys and girls from the human papillomavirus, which is particularly concerning for women because that's the virus that can be associated or is associated with cervical cancer. And so up until recently it was recommended just for girls, and now it's recommended for boys as well. And that's a set of 3 shots that kids can get, and that's a good thing to start on that over the summer because it's over a 6-month period, and so they can start on that vaccine over the summertime.
Now, if it's mostly suggested for girls, then why get the boys to do it?
The idea is if you protect the boys, then in turn you're protecting the boys because that's something that is sexually transmitted.
Oh, well, that's very good to know. So, you know, is there anything else that we need to think about getting ready for school? You know, we got the forms. Hopefully you filled them out before you came in. Is there anything else we need to think about or protect ourselves from in general as the school year is about to start?
Well, the big thing is to, when you're seeing your doctor, get a copy of your child's immunization record so that when those forms for field trips come and you have to put the date of your child's last tetanus, you have that available to you. And then just all the things that are going to be happening to kids over the summer, you know, trying to keep your child with sunscreen, trying to keep your child free of you know, keeping spray on so that hopefully they're not getting tick bites and bug bites, and just keeping your kids protected from all the outdoors things that are going to happen over the summer.
And speaking of tick bites, that's always kind of freaky when you come across a tick. What should we be looking for, and when should we come in to see you?
Right. Well, a tick is going to leave a lot of times a little mark that looks like a mosquito bite. That is going to go away. A little cortisone cream can take care of that. But the things that we get concerned about after tick bites is if you get a rash that looks like a bullseye or a target, or if after a tick bite you get fever, headaches, joint aches, rashes. Those are the things that you definitely want to get checked out by a provider.
And one more question for you. Pick your brain. Tetanus. Do we need to do that as grown-ups too?
Yes, absolutely. That needs to be updated every 10 years to protect adults from tetanus. And there's a recommendation now that at least once as an adult you get the tetanus that also contains the whooping cough to protect you as you get older from that possible disease. So that definitely needs to be updated every 10 years. So every adult should know when they last had that vaccine.
And to schedule an appointment or find a Central Virginia family physicians near you, 434-382-1125 and CVFP.net.